So this week, I finally got the apology I've been waiting for my whole life, and I still can't trust it. Because sometimes people stay asleep for so long that even their apology still feels like part of the mask. So today, I wanted to unpack why these moments feel like a test, a moment where you're asked to choose yourself again, and why it hurts so deeply when someone you love is still asleep. I'm living a new truth now, and I want to talk about what it means for all of us when an old dynamic tries to pull you back into a version of yourself that you've outgrown. This is Francisca. This is my mid-crisis life, and today is Crisis Confessionals.
Before we dive in, hit subscribe if you're on your own journey of waking up from the masks, the roles, the old dynamics. Every week we go deeper into a truth most families avoid, and you're not doing this alone.
Okay, so the saga continues. Ari, my mother, and her really fucked up ways, but specifically on this occasion, her very fucked up ways around trying to ostracize me and punishing her friend for including me and helping me, and me deciding to finally speak out and tell the people in my family what's going on so that I don't get ostracized. Anyway, so here's a little update. Actually, my mum's siblings, who know her very well, they responded actually really kindly. They get it. They get it. They understand what my concerns are. They understand the way that my mum behaves. They get it, right? And anyway, I've booked in to see all of my aunts and uncles, basically, all the ones that I messaged. So that's going to be really, really nice. And I didn't expect that. So basically, there's just been like a really strong outpouring of kindness and love, and people saying you are part of our family and you will not be ostracized and whatever else, which is really, really nice. And I didn't necessarily expect that, and I think that's really lovely, and I'm really, really grateful. My cousin messaged me to ask me what had happened because she knows everything. We talk, we're friends, right? And she just said to me, Fran, you're really changing the narrative in the family. You're changing the way that we interact. You're causing people to think more about others with love and to think in a more emotional way, because this is something that my whole extended family is just really fucking crap at. And she was just like, it's really, really amazing, really amazing. Anyway, clearly, in a very, very short space of time, this has got back to my mum, right? Because she has chosen this morning to message me. Um, so about a week and a half ago, right, one of my other cousins, who is also one of my best friends, I sent her this Instagram video, right, this really short reel of this mum standing in front of her son, and she was just pouring her heart out to him, and she was crying her eyes out and saying about how sorry she was for all of the things that she'd done, and begging forgiveness and all the rest of it. And I sent this to my cousin just with the tagline, like, as if, right? And she got back to me and she was like, as if our parents would ever do that. Like, that's just hilarious. That's so funny. And we were just joking about it back and forth for about an hour. And then we just spent like an hour and a half talking about how much we would get the absolute fucking ick, right? If our parents stood in front of us, all like heartfelt, apologizing for their behavior, how just absolutely disgusting that would be to us. And we'd just be like, oh, please stop. I can't even look at you. Like, it's absolute fucking vom behavior, because we're just so conditioned, right, for that to just be like, oh, what's going on? So we were just absolutely fucking pissing ourselves about it, right? Well, it's happening now. It's happening now. My mom messaged me and, to paraphrase, basically said, I'm sorry for staying in the relationship that I stayed in for too long. I should have ended it much sooner. I know that it caused you harm. I know that must have been really painful for you to endure and has had an impact on you throughout your life. That was it, right? Man, that message fucked me up, man. That fucked me up. Like, I was fucked up before 9:22 this morning, right? Just waking up to that message. And I think the reason why it's just such a fucked up thing, right? It's because that little child inside of me that just has spent its whole life trying to be loved and trying to be acknowledged and trying to have the things that they've been through and the damage that it caused acknowledged by the people who have done it. Because my dad was no saint, right? To finally have that, even in that very small way of just one of the things that I went through that really was harrowing. Man, like it's all I've ever wanted for her to do. Like it's all I've ever wanted. Just right there in a message, right? And she's finally done it. And it's so fucking heartbreaking because I'm at a point where, and it's going to sound really callous, but like it's too little too late. I don't trust her. I don't trust that that message has any true sentimentality to it. I don't trust that that message is genuine. And not genuine in the sense of I think that she has thought about it and she does feel that way. But it's not true. It's not true. It's not authentic. Because think about what has had to happen for me to get a 6-line message that says that, that acknowledges just that small part of my childhood. I've had to essentially out her to the whole fucking family, right? And it's like, I've been begging you to do this for 30 years, really. I've been begging you to do this for 30 years, even up to like what 9 months ago when I was like, I really just want to be in relationships with people who love me and people who protect me and people who cherish me. And your response to that was silence, complete silence. But now that I've outed you to the family, now you want to acknowledge me. And it's kind of like, it's not real. Like, it's not real. It's everything I've ever wanted, but it's not real. Like, I don't trust you. I don't trust that this message isn't just to, what's the word, preserve her reputation within the family. Is I don't trust that it's not because she's losing control of this hierarchy that she's created where she sits on the top of it. I can't trust that it isn't just only a response to this round robin that I've sent out where I've told everybody exactly what you've done and it's so fucking obvious, it's so clear that it's undeniable the way that you're treating your own child. Like, and I can't trust that it isn't just for her to be able to say, you know, if I say, oh, you know, Mum, thanks so much. I really, really appreciate that. I'm so glad you finally seen the light and you finally acknowledged the stuff that you did, like, so that she can just be like, oh, well, you know, it's all well now. It was just a little tiff. It's all been sorted now. Everything's fine, right? Or for her to be able to say, well, you know what? I tried. Sorry. I tried. And you know what she did? She just completely ignored me. I put my heart on the line. And she just completely ignored me because that's the type of person that Fran is. You give her an inch and she takes them like, or to be able to say like, you know, if I came back to her and was like, yeah, I think there's a lot of other stuff that you could be apologizing for. Not that I'm not grateful, but why don't you apologize for what you did, you know, like for like selling my house or giving away my entire childhood to another child, like just as a snippet, like why not apologize for that? Like, and if I did say that, she could then just be like, well, you know, I tried and all she did, she just wanted to harp on about the past. That's what she wanted to do. She can't drop it. She doesn't want to move forward. I've tried to move forward and she doesn't want to, right? So I just don't really think any of it is about me. I think it's just about self-preservation, basically. It's just still that same self-protection that my mum has been living in her entire life because obviously that's what she felt like she needed to do as a child. She needed to protect herself and this is how she knows how to do it, right? But it's now crumbling, so she's just trying to protect herself. And the other thing as well is like, really, the word sorry was not used. The word apologize was not used. And really when you deep it, the message is just really the like an omission of somebody else's behavior. Somebody else caused harm and I didn't protect you from that, which is true. But it's like still this kind of projection onto somebody else so that there's not that blame, right? And if you cannot take accountability truly for your actions, not the omission of an action, not the lack of an action, i.e. I didn't leave, so sorry, I should have done that. Like, if you can't actually take responsibility for your own actions, then I have to question, like, does she really want to change? Because that is the point at which you start to change, when you have the humility to say, I fucked up. These are the ways that I fucked up. I fucked up royally. Like, I'm sorry, And yeah, I feel like if my mum really does feel like this, if she does really genuinely feel sorry, then I don't need to respond. I'm going through what I'm going through now. I'm grieving the loss of a mother, like an act, like I'm in bereavement for my relationship and who my mum's been, right? But if she really does, the point is, if this is really true, if it's really genuine, then she will be sorry in a week, and she'll be sorry in a month, and she'll be sorry in a year, and she'll be sorry in 5 years, right? It won't be some short-lived, momentary, like, oh yeah, by the way, like, real sorry for that. Real sorry for that domestically abusive relationship that I stayed in. Shouldn't have done that. Whoops. Oh, shouldn't have done that. And it's kind of like that whole thing of like the keys, like when I left, when she threw me out, and then she came back and she was really contrite, and she was like, well, again, there was no sorry, there was no apology. It was just, oh, I shouldn't have done that. You can stay here the night if you want to, and then you can get out of my house. And I was like, yeah, no, I think I'm okay. I'm literally writing my own eviction note as we speak because you told me to. So I'm good. And then she was immediately like, well, give me my motherfucking keys. Go get your kids, get the keys. You don't live here anymore. So if it's true, it won't be like that. There won't be this repercussion. So we wait to see, right? But I think for me, as a person in this, I feel like this is God, or the universe, or my higher self, or my deeper consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, right? I think it is asking me very squarely, am I really ready to let this go? Am I really ready to step into a new life? Am I really ready to step into a new dynamic? Because here's the guise of the thing that you've always wanted, and you could have it, maybe you could have it, but are you really ready? And it just reminds me of like when I was going through that process of like not giving anyone any more money and being like, yep, no, I'm not doing that anymore. This is completely one-sided. And then this friend turned up who's like homeless and like addicted to drugs. And then he's like, yeah, but you need to give me the money because otherwise I'm going to go and get more drugs, or I'm going to break into someone's house, or I'm going to steal stuff from a shop, and please don't make me do it. It's all on you. It's all on you. You've got to save me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm still not giving you any more money. Or it's like when I was going through that phase of evolving into like, oh no, I really am not caring what other people think of me anymore. I'm done with the external validation. And then that ex-friend of mine turned up and just eviscerated my character, right? And I was just like, oh, right, yeah, sure. No matter what I do, people can still hate me. Like, so I really do just want to do what I want. Or do I want to go and try and fawn and appease this person? And I feel like it's exactly the same thing, right, that's happening now. And it's like when I think about all these changes that are happening so quickly in my life at the moment, I just know that all of it is trying to get to a pinnacle of true self-love. I have been trying my whole life to love myself, like truly, genuinely, just have an innate sense of self-love. And it's evasive. It's been evasive my whole life, man. It's always been like, if I do this, then I deserve love. If I can be this person, then I deserve love. If I show up in this way, then I deserve love. And if I don't, then people have the right to treat me like shit, right? And it's like this whole my whole life I've been trying to do that, and everything that's happening and falling into place and coming into to fruition, and everything that I'm being challenged with at the moment is me constantly being asked, do you still want to love yourself? Is that what you want? Because this is what you need to sacrifice. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to, who you need to be, if this is truly what you want, right? Do you really want it? And I think about my mom in this scenario of self-love. And I know for a fact that I chose to come into this life in this iteration with these parents because I wanted to learn how to love myself. And there's no way that I was going to learn to love myself if everybody else just loved me freely, right? I had to be in a situation where I was starved of love from other people. So I literally had to find it within myself, right? And I feel like as much as my mom here in this world, and I've spoken about this before, but as much as my mum here in this world is this awful, evil, cantankerous, like unloving bitch of a mother, right? I know that somewhere on some plane, right, she of course loves me because she has made a decision to come down here and be this version of a person, to be this broken, lost, vicious, bitter, resentful version of a person, this disingenuous, I have no idea what it actually feels like to love someone or be loved. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, wear this mask my entire life, right? She's chosen to do that so that I can grow in this way. Like, and that is such a fucking sacrifice as a soul on her behalf that she's done this for me. And in that realm, I know that there's nothing but love. I know that there's nothing but love, right? But as me, as Fran in this 3D reality, what I do know is true is that I need to love myself. And I feel like these past few months, I have literally been fighting for my life, like fighting for my life to get to this point, to be this person so that my life can finally fucking begin, right? And I just feel like, I'm always, not so much now, right? Because I've had this realization, but I've always been looking at all of these things that are happening and that have happened in my life, all these hardships, all these traumas, and I've been like, right, excellent. I've done the lessons, yeah. I've done the lessons. Where's the blessings? Where are they? I've done all the lessons. I've learned everything. Come on, man, like give me the blessings now. And it's that same kind of like deserved thing. Like, oh, I deserve some blessings now because I've done all the lessons. But what I've realized, right, is that the lessons are only learned when you no longer believe that there are lessons. There are no lessons. There is no blessings. There just is, right? And yes, all of these experiences have taught me and have grown me and have evolved me. And I'm grateful because I wouldn't be who I am without them. But there's no lessons and no blessings. There's just me and there's just love and there's just presence and there's just what is right now, right? And I look at my mum, right? And I just think, you're asleep. You're asleep. You're literally sleepwalking your way through this life, right? And I just want to grab her and I just want to fucking like shake her and be like, wake up, wake up. The way that you're living, the person that you're pretending to be, it's not real. It's not real. You've created this weird character and you're just stuck in this pretend world, this virtual reality. And you think that who you're being is who you are, and it's not. It's just what you were conditioned into being. Like, wake the fuck up, you know? Like, and it's just so hard to watch, right? Because for me as a person, all I want in life is to wake people the fuck up, right? It breaks my heart to watch people just sleepwalking through life, and it is literally my life mission, my life purpose to do this for people. But it's painful, and you have to start with the truth, and you have to be true to yourself, and you have to be honest, and you've got to be like brutally honest. And it's just an awful thing to choose to do, but unless you do it, your life is not even real and your life is not even your own. And I'm like so desperate to do that for everybody in the world. Like, that is really what I'm passionate about. So to watch my own mum, you know, this person that despite everything I love, like I love her, I can't not love her. She's my mum. Like, to watch her nearly at the end of her life, still asleep, is just heart wrenching. It's so much, right? It's so painful. And it's like, even this message, you can see there's just no humanity in it. It's like a robot. It's like, dearest Fran, I recognize that I did these things and I should have done this, and I see that it has caused you pain, and I recognize, like, it's just like, where's the humanity? Where's the, I'm broken hearted, man, about the things that I've done, and I love you so much, and I can't stand the pain of having inflicted these things on you, and I just want you to be okay. You know, that's true humanity, that's true love, that's true accountability, right? And it's like, I see that and I just so desperately want to like invite her into this real world, this real frequency, this truth, right? Of where I choose and have chosen and fought bitterly to be and to be in, right? And I want her to be in this new frequency with me, because finally the old dynamic is done. Like, it's done. It could not be more done if you wanted it to be done. It died, and then we cremated it, and then we buried the cremation, and then we set an atomic bomb off on the top of that fucking buried, cremated, dead fucking dynamic that we have, right? It's over, yeah, and I will not step back into it, because I know that that's the truth, and that is the truth. And there's an alarm going off on my phone. And that is truth. That is reality. That is the reality, right? Not my reality. That's the fucking truth of it, yeah. And I know that I would do her and me a disservice by immediately jumping back into this role of like, oh, you know, it's okay. Thank you so much for acknowledging the things that you did in the past. Like, essentially just like trying to save her, right? I'm not doing anybody any favors. She has to feel, unfortunately, the pain of whatever it is that she's going through, right? Whether it be that she's worried that she's going to lose control or lose face, or her reputation is going to be sullied, or if she's worried that, you know, she truly is going to lose me and it really is actually done, she has to go through that and choose to go through that pain to really come out of the other side, to truly be able to meet me here in reality, in truth, right? And to live here in this reality, in this new truth. And she has the opportunity now to do that. This is an opportunity for her, and I'm not going to go and save her. And, you know, I was talking to my friend about this, right? My very, very wise and lovely friend, who counseled me after this thing happened to me, and we were talking about all of these concepts. And I said to my friend, you know, not that I'm ever gonna decide who somebody is and what somebody's capable of, but I just don't think that my mum has it in her. I don't think that she has the faculties. I don't think that she has the capacity. I don't think that she has the emotional intelligence. And I don't think that she has the time to do this, right? She's old. She's not here for very long. I mean, it could be done in like 6 months if you really want to put in the hard work, right? I could actually teach her how to do it. I would be the best person to help her through it, but I don't think it's going to happen. And as I was saying it, I caught myself and I thought, actually, you know what? I have another good friend who one day said to me, you know, everything that we think is assumption, particularly the things that we think about other people, particularly the things that we think about the future. It's all just a complete assumption. And I know this, right? It's not real. So why not just assume the best? He was like, nowadays, I look at people who I used to think this, that, and the other about, and now I just assume the best about them, and that's how they show up for me. So as much as I'm not going to embroil myself in this, as much as it's no longer my responsibility to dig my mum out of this hole and to save her, because I see the broken and scared and fearful child that she is on the inside. Also, what I'm not going to do is condemn her to a fate that, to me, is a complete waste of life. And I'm going to assume that she's capable of the best. And that's where I'm going to sit very quietly over here, dealing with my own fucking shit, dealing with my own fallout of this, right? Because this is not easy. This is really fucking hard. So yeah, that's it for now. Um, Come back tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit more about what's it called? savior complex. Where that comes from, what it is, what it looks like, maybe some tips of how to get out of it, right? Because I think that's probably the most poignant thing that I could pick up on today. Okay, cool, that's it. Something that I'm really grateful for. Going right back to the beginning of the video, I'm really grateful that my family made that decision to reach out and to see me and to acknowledge me and to acknowledge what I'm going through and to rebuild those relationships. And I'm really glad that, as my cousin said, hopefully that it's going to change the dynamics, change the way that we interrelate, and, you know, maybe break those chains of generational trauma, break those chains of, you know, ancestral curses and all of that shit. Because we fucking need it. I'll tell you that for nothing. All right, cool. For now, that is it.
If this hits something real for you, then share it with someone who's trying to choose themselves too. And drop a comment. How do you handle apologies that feel like performances? I read everyone, and it helps us build a community that's done sleepwalking through life.